Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we'll have more on the final governor debate that took place last night. And as the election draws near, close state officials remind voters to follow the law at your local polling place.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. The time is 6:32 on October 25th. Let's check in with meteorologist Evan Hatter for a look at your forecast this morning. Evan, what should people be looking forward to today?
Well, I would say some chilly air to start, especially depending on where you are. So grab the coat as you head out this morning. Just don't forget it at work, or make sure the kiddos don't leave it at school, because we are looking for a mild day out there today. Here's a look around the region from our 6 cameras here, or at least 6 of our cameras. All clear in terms of any kind of fog out there. Still before sunrise, but keeping an eye on some mostly clear skies out there this morning, helping drop temperatures, especially the closer you get to the Tennessee border, down into the low to mid 40s. A lot of us, though, are getting closer to the 50-degree mark. In fact, actually, hazards come down a little bit. We're at 48. Compare that to Jackson, which sits at 60 and in the upper 50s as you head over toward the Big Sandy, and in the mid 50s as you head toward Lake Cumberland. We will continue to see no big issues out there, though. Look at Somerset, about 6-mile visibility, so some patchy fog out there. Your travel forecast as you head through today, a milder start today, no big issues. And as we head into the afternoon, maybe hit the AC, depends on how hard or how much sun your car was exposed to during the day, but it is going to be a warm one out there with those temperatures in the middle 70s. Details, though, on when things start to cool off a little bit quicker in a little bit. Madison?
Evan, thank you. We are continuing to fact check the candidates on their claims in the closing weeks of the campaign. Investigative reporter Garrett Weimer is providing some context for several big topics from the debate stage.
The first claims we'll look at are about the state's income tax.
I will be the only candidate on this stage tonight that will say we will eliminate Kentucky's income tax to give you more of your hard money into your pockets.
Fact check mechanisms are already in place to do that. House Bill 8 in 2022 started the process. Come January 1st, the state's income tax will be at 4%. That's down from 5% where it started. Cuts could continue even without help from the governor. Governor Beshear vetoed House Bill 8, but lawmakers overrode it.
That first income tax bill I got wasn't a cut. It raised sales tax on things like conventions and background checks that keep kids safe.
Fact check, that bill did trigger a 0.5% cut, but it also extended the state's sales tax to nearly 36 new services. Governor Beshear signed a bill this year that will cut the state's income tax to 4%. On this stage, Beshear says he wants to continue to make those cuts wisely and carefully.
Andy Beshear wants no limits on abortions because his record demonstrates that. Governor, what is your limit on abortion? No, there's no limit on abortion. I'll answer for him.
On abortion, Governor Beshear did not say where exactly he'd draw the line, but did say this.
Since I ran for Attorney General, I've always been public that I support reasonable restrictions, especially on late-term procedures.
As Attorney General, Beshear defended a bill requiring an ultrasound before an abortion, but he refused to defend the state's 20-week abortion ban. As governor, he vetoed the 15-week abortion ban, citing a lack of exceptions for rape and incest. Now, according to an analysis by KFF, of the 22 states that ban or restrict abortion, 8 have exceptions for rape and incest. Kentucky does not. Cameron said he would sign a bill with those exceptions, but did not say he would push lawmakers to do it.
We caught up with candidates just minutes after last night's debate. Here's what both candidates had to say after taking the debate stage for the last time before Election Day.
Well, it was a good opportunity to tell the Commonwealth about our record of record-setting economic development and our plans moving forward as far as increasing teacher pay and pay for every public school educator that was out there. In the end, I think people saw one candidate who is for something and one candidate who is against someone.
Well, I think it went well. Again, you saw a contrast between me and Andy Beshear. I'm running towards the issue of trying to tackle violent crime, address the learning loss that happened during the governor's decision to shut down our schools, and I want to eliminate Kentucky's income tax. And I think there's a big stark difference between me and the governor on those things.
A popular election denier, Mike Lindell, is encouraging his supporters to sneak a Wi-Fi monitoring device into Kentucky polling places, as he believes the device can help detect and uncover election fraud. But Secretary of State Michael Adams disagrees. The Kenton County Board of Elections has already voted to disallow these detectors at polling places. County clerks want to remind voters to follow state laws or risk prosecution, as violators could face jail time.
You are allowed to bring your cell phone to the polls. You are allowed to take what's called a ballot selfie. You are allowed to take a picture of yourself with your ballot if you like. It's First Amendment. You get to do that if you wish.
The election takes place on Tuesday, November 7th, a little under 2 weeks away. Our nation has multiple holidays and celebrations to honor those who have served. But what about when they return home? I am about to show you what one Governor's Challenge initiative is doing to support veterans when they get home.
One suicide is too much, and this is a great start in really fighting the problem.
The Service Members, Veterans, and Their Families, or SMVF Task Force, is hosting Governor's Challenge summits like the Suicide Awareness and Lethal Means Safety Summit to bring awareness to a greater issue, veterans' mental health.
Any life loss is serious, and if we can have a real discussion to help save life, who wouldn't want to be a part of that conversation? And I believe the Commonwealth is full of people who want to put all differences aside. Let's have this conversation.
Veterans Affairs reported that in 2019, more than 69% of veteran suicides involved lethal means or a firearm.
Some of the things they're going to talk about is creating ways, if you're struggling, create distance. There are people who can turn in their, if they want to, they can willfully, turn in their weapons in a safe place, but people don't like to talk about it.
The Governor's Challenge is an initiative through the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Administration that helps states fight against veteran suicides.
The Governor's Challenge has been a part of the Governor's overall initiative for the last 4 years. It has grown from a small group of individuals now to a coalition of veteran organizations, state agencies, community partners across the state.
Professionals and organizations that work with veterans were able to share things they found helpful in supporting those having suicidal thoughts.
Well, we are definitely planning to take as much knowledge as possible back to our program to see what programs we can implement, what resources we can bring to our service members to really bolster our efforts in the primary prevention of suicide.
Officials say that if you are a veteran or know one that is struggling, to dial the 988 crisis line. For a list of resources offered by the Office of Kentucky Veterans Services, just find this story on our website. FEMA has approved more than $11 million for the Kentucky Division of Emergency Management for debris removal from last summer's flooding and mudslides. FEMA says following last year's events, removing debris became a critical mission to help address the immediate threat to the general public's health and safety. Here's what Kentucky EM Director Jeremy Slinker had to say in a statement, quote, "Every disaster is unique and brings its own set of hurdles to overcome, particularly with debris. The challenges we faced in response was unlike what we had ever faced before. I am proud and thankful for the many partners that had a hand in helping Eastern Kentucky." We have more about this on our website at WYMT.com. One Pike County school is working to construct a tiny house, celebrating its 8th build since the program's inception. The Phelps Area Vocational Program is working on another tiny house with students taking the semester to learn and build. Those involved with the program say it teaches students more than just carpentry, using each tiny house sale to fund the next build.
How to schedule, how to stay on schedule, what the responsibility is of being expected to do something, and they really do a good job.
Students say they are excited to build this year's tiny house and see where it ends up.
Quick check of the forecast at 6:41. Not looking too bad out there. Mid-40s as you head out to London Corbin Airport. No big issues out there weather-wise. Update those temperatures. Middle and upper 50s in the Big Sandy. Jackson hanging tough at 60. We're cooler in Hazard now at 46. We've been holding at 50 for a while. That joins London at 46. 44 Manchester. 43 Williamsburg, 41 apiece, Middlesboro and Jacksboro. So cooler as you get towards the Tennessee border this morning. Get closer to Lake Cumberland. Mid-50s out there, and it is mild to start. The next 12 hours starting a little on the cooler side. We're quickly to near 60 by midday and finishing up this afternoon in the mid-70s. Enjoy these wonderful temperatures now because changes are on the way as we finish out the work week and head into the weekend. I'll detail those in just a few minutes. Madison?
Evan, thank you. Thank you for joining us. The time is 6:42. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. 22 days after ousting Kevin McCarthy, House Republicans have a new nominee for Speaker.
Stop forecast sponsored by Big Sandy Heating and Cooling, the king of comfort.
What does Kentucky need in an